Disclaimer: this fictional serial will contain mature subject matters, including but not limited to the subject of drug use. This story does not seek to glorify addiction or drug use. It is a horror story that, like many such fictional material, explores dark themes. The Crimson Hound is meant to be a flawed anti-hero, and the viewer is not meant to agree with everything he does. Also keep in mind that in a serialized format, the whole story will be told over many episodes, so one single episode will not be a good representation of the completed story. Feedback is always welcome in the comments.
All right, so where we left off, the Hound had just taken the drug Geist and had blacked out during the experience. And we're going to start things off by having you roll a saving throw, a save versus poison, and we're going to see what happens as a result of this drugging.
Very well. So it's 10 is my saving throw for poison, and I get... That's a natural 20.
Nice, very good. Okay, so so the Hound blacks out, and the next period of time, he experiences essentially what seems like kind of a fever dream, where there's different kind of images flashing in his mind, different voices. He feels sweaty and kind of anxious, and in this kind of strange fugue state that you're in, Julesy makes several appearances, except that she doesn't look ghostly. She looks like in the flesh, and it's like when she appears in this vision, she's got the like hole in her chest where she was shot, and she's not speaking, but she has a look on her face that's sort of like she herself is unsure what exactly happened. It's like she's trying to puzzle out, like, who did this to me? Are you the one responsible? And the sort of impression that you get is not one of anger or malevolence or anything like that. It's more like a kind of a confusion. And in addition to that, so at some point, during this vision, he's getting all these visions of Julesy and just flashes of things that the Hound has experienced before, especially things more on the violent and kind of supernaturally dark end of things. Past experiences are coming to mind. And at some point, there is a strange female voice that seems to override this vision. And at first, the Hound thinks that it's, Julesy maybe speaking. But after some time, Julesy eventually kind of dissipates from the vision, and all that's left is this voice. And it speaks in strange fragments. But over the course of this strange dream, the fragments eventually come together. And what they say, it's a like I said, a kind of a female voice, very kind of a sultry, deep tone. And what it says and ends up repeating over the course of this vision, it says, "Take my smile, young thing. The world ends bloody." And it just kind of repeats that. It's like an echo in the Hound's mind. "Take my smile, young thing. The world ends bloody." And at that point, after an undetermined amount of time, the Hound sort of comes to consciousness, and you're going to. He feels a bit groggy, but there is some kind of buzzing within his mind, some kind of heightened state, much like kind of. It's a very similar state that he woke up in before when he was in bed with Julesy. So you're going to, at this point, gain 1d6 plus 1 juice points.
Oh, nice. So for this, I'll be rolling an actual die.
Okay.
Well, okay, so I got a 5.
All right. So 5 total or 5 on the die?
On the die.
Okay. So you get 6 juice points, which pumps you up. So this time, and especially given that this is your second experience apparently on the drug, the effects seem to be somewhat increased, and there is the hound has a sense of almost kind of like unearthly uh, power and awareness like coursing through his veins. He just feels he's still a bit groggy and coming to and whatnot, but there's a certain empowerment that seems to be coursing through your veins. And as you're kind of coming to, you realize that you're in a dumpster, and you kind of you're like looking around. There's trash and debris here and there. There's like a banana peel half on your face, and uh, you hear a voice nearby, uh, and you don't hear what it says at first, but it's followed by kind of a manic cackle, like a, and you can hear what sounds like several sets of footsteps approaching, and someone a little bit closer this time says, "Over here, boys. I think we found one." And now, as Hound's kind of coming to and whatnot, uh, he realizes that his sword is missing. It's not on him, and he can hear these footsteps approaching. As he's looking up out of the dumpster, he's seeing that it's either night or it's early in the wee hours of the morning. The city, as it often is shrouded in fog. It's a dense kind of pea soup fog, so visibility is relatively low. But he can see that he's in the alleyway between some large buildings, apartment buildings, and slum scrapers and stuff. And the sense that you have is that you're in the same you feel like you're kind of in the same general neighborhood that you were in before, just in a dumpster. So all right, so these voices are approaching, these footsteps, and what do you do?
Am I seeing through the visor, or is it gone?
The visor is not gone. It's kind of like it's like laying in the dumpster right next to you, like
Okay.
you have the feeling, the sense like you're kind of casually dumped over the side, and the visor just fell off your face.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it back on, and
Okay.
I'm guessing I still have the rest of my outfit on.
Yeah, your outfit is intact. I think that the only thing missing at the moment that you notice is the sword. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pay Skunk a visit. So yeah, he's in a bad mood. So I think like the first reaction is to almost have this attitude of okay, that was a mistake. Time to reconnect with myself, so to speak. Like he tells himself, I'm not the one who killed Josie, because that's gonna be his way of coping with this and dealing with this. And now, in a weird way, he has someone to lash out at, if anything, for the theft of the sword.
Sure.
So it's already gonna be much more in his ragey element at this moment.
Sure.
Because I think at the end of the day, the night, the hound is not doing well when he doesn't have something to kill. So
okay. One other thing. So if I recall correctly, your goggles do have like a infrared vision mode, something like that.
No, that's actually his eyes. That's actually his own eyes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
he has this thing where he can turn on like it's a screen that normally is kind of like I guess the default visors that are sold like that would be kind of like shades, and people can put like program like images over it. So what he does is he programs this like superhero domino mask with the white eyes.
Right. Okay.
It's kind of like the screen he puts in, but that's kind of like anyone can put whatever they want if they buy that kind of visor.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let me revise the description slightly. So with your infrared vision, you can see that the footsteps approaching and the voices and whatnot appear to be coming from 3 human-looking figures. And let's see, this is heat signatures. So yeah, he just sees 3 human figures approaching, and one of them, as it's getting closer, they get within about 10 feet or so of the dumpster, and that's when you heard one of them say, looks like we got one, and another one you hear kind of grumble out. He's like, fresh meat. And so what's the Hound gonna do?
Well, he's gonna just stand up from the dumpster and with the cloak on him. So it's gonna be this very like horror movie, kind of like something standing up from a place.
Oh, nice. Okay.
With the of course with the goggles on, but with the it's basically gonna be like almost like this vertical standing. Because of the cloak hiding the whole body, it gives this impression of there's something going like this, instead of someone standing up normally.
Sure. Just kind of.
So just to let them know that they maybe didn't grab like some random drunk dude, and I'm just gonna be like standing on top of the dumpster, staring at them, like staring down at them.
Okay, so you're looking down on three kind of what look like kind of manic, drug-addled street punks. One of them is kind of lithe and skinny, and he's carrying a spiked baseball bat. Another one in the back is kind of a fat guy with like kind of like a mound of or a collection of different equipment and whatnot, kind of strapped to his chest. And the third one's more of a kind of an average build guy. And like I said, the first guy is armed with a spiked baseball bat. The fat guy is armed with a length of chain. And the middle guy doesn't appear to be holding any weapons at the moment. But all three of them look drug-addled and quite dangerous. Like the skinny guy has like a slick back, like a crooked mohawk. The others have kind of like crappily shaved heads and stuff. So they look like, kind of scumbags. So you rise up, and I think that this could possibly be a moment of intimidation. So let's see how that goes. Go ahead and I usually use strength for intimidation.
Perfect.
So go ahead and make a strength ability check.
That's a 3. Oh no, that's good. That's
good. I
always get confused.
Okay, so that's quite good actually. All right, so you rise up, and the three punks immediately kind of like pause, and they're taken aback. They did not expect you to rise like the undead out of this dumpster, and the guy in front is kind of like, oh hey man, how you doing?
I smile at him with my fangs. Whether he believes in supernatural or thinks it's some cosmetic thing, doesn't matter. I think it'll have the desired effect at the moment.
All right, the fat guy in the back is like, I don't know about this, guys. I don't know about this.
Tell me where Skunk's building is.
Let's see. All right, the guy in front, he looks at you a little bit quizzically at first, and he just kind of points. He's like, just around the block. What, do you got a bad memory or something?
So I just jump down from the dumpster, but I make it a point to jump like and land like really in front of their faces.
Okay. All right, so the guy in front with the baseball bat kind of staggers backwards a little bit. And the guy in the middle that had no apparent weapon, he's like, all right, that's it. Let's wreck this punk. And you see him
really?
You see him go into his like, he's got like an 80s like, biker jacket type thing, and he goes inside his jacket and pulls out crappy like a pistol. All right, so we should roll initiative then. So that's
how do you roll it again?
It's D6, and on a high roll, so a 4, 5, or 6, that means you go first, and on a 1, 2, or 3, that means the opponents go first.
Well, I have to re-roll because it landed on my pen, so it's somewhere between 2 and 3.
All right.
Well, my camera is it's a 6.
Okay. All right, no
I feel
worries.
like I should set something to be able to move the camera to show the dice. Anyway, it's a 6.
All right, great. So as they're, as the guy goes for his gun, you can already feel this, awareness and this power kind of coursing through you, and you immediately kind of kick into like almost like a slow motion kind of like Matrixy mode where you're like, you see him going for the gun and you just kick into action. So what do you do?
Okay, so just to see how they're positioned, regarding me. Like in front of me, I have the guy with the baseball bat.
That's right.
To my right, behind him, is the guy with the gun.
Right.
I imagine out of reach from me at the moment.
He's about 10 feet away. Yeah.
10 feet. Okay.
And the fat guy with the chain is about 15 feet away.
Okay. And the other direction, or kind of like next to the other?
No, they're kind of like they're more or less in a line in front of you, but slightly spaced out. Yeah.
Okay, so not in a triangle, but kind of like an horizontal, diagonal line.
Yeah.
True. Okay. So yeah, the first thing I'll do is I'm actually gonna, the guy in front of me with a baseball bat, I am going to try to grab him in a hold. So I use him as a shield, and that'll be the. I mean, all of that I think is my. I don't think I can also rush at the same time. So.
Sure.
Up to you, but my intention is basically to grab the guy, use him as a shield, and then rush the guy with gun.
Great. So go ahead and make a melee attack roll.
Yeah. That would be a 15 on the die, or the card, I should say, and no base attack bonus, but or whatever it's called, and I have +2 in strength, so that means 17 in total.
Okay. So, given that it's a grapple, I'm going to make it an opposed roll. So we'll see what he gets here. I just dropped my dice on the ground. Let's see.
I heard.
All right, 3. So that's not going to do it. So you, with great alacrity, snap forward, and quickly grab the guy kind of by the shoulder, flip him around, and have him essentially locked in front of you. And he doesn't react except to kind of gasp, like you completely took him by surprise. It seems like he was a little bit less enthused about attacking you than the guy behind him, so he's all the more surprised by this. All right, so
I'm gonna specify. So I have one arm around the neck, and normally I might close it to do a full choke, but the other arm is actually gonna go to. Go around, like whatever arm he's holding the baseball bat with, like that's my other arm, like just controlling, so he doesn't swing it back. Especially with the nails, he could in theory swing it backwards and get me in the back.
Sure.
So I'm kind of like holding it at the elbow level, so he can't really get any momentum. He might like break a bit or something, but I don't want him to swing it back and catch me.
Okay, perfect.
And obviously, if he tries to change hands, if I'm controlling the elbow, I'll have a bit more. Maneuvering room to stop him from doing that. So
okay, great.
All
right, so
basically I'll spin him if he tries. Like if he tries to switch hands, I'll just like spin him a bit.
Okay.
While trying to keep him in between. Anyway.
All right, yeah, I got you. All right, so he kind of gasps. The guy with the gun finishes drawing his pistol. It's just a little like street revolver with a few shots in it, and he basically just opens up some shots. Now you're effectively using his friend as cover here. So if he misses,
I didn't think he'd shoot. I thought, well, there you go.
If he misses you by by the factor of your cover here, then he'll end up hitting his friend. So let's see what happens. Oh Lord, okay, I actually rolled a natural 1. I think that So he unloads a shot directly into the chest of the guy that you just grabbed. So you grab him, he shoots, and it just like straight up, kills the guy instantly. That you're holding. Yeah, that worked. All right, the guy with the chain in the back. Let's see how he feels about this. Okay, he thinks he wants to give it a shot. So he kind of like waddles forward. He starts swinging his chain around, and he basically tries to swing the chain so that it hits the now dying guy that you're holding onto, but then wraps around and kind of slashes across your back. All right, what's your armor class again? And the guy will still give you an AC bonus. So
yeah, so it's 13. As I like to say, the Hound is poor, so he's wearing a crappy leather armor.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and raise it, I think, to, you said 14 or 13?
13. That's
13.
his normal.
Okay, so let's raise it up to, I'd say about 17 for the purpose of this attack.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a miss. Okay, so he comes forward, he swings his length of chain, and you manage to, kind of step back enough that the guy who's just been shot, he takes the brunt of it across the front of his face and just kind of spits out some teeth to the side and blood and whatnot. All right, so he did that, and the guy coming at you is like, "Hold still, you!" And then it's your turn. I'm
Okay.
sorry, it's new initiative actually. So
Okay.
roll another d6 because they could theoretically go twice in a row.
That's a 4.
4? Okay, so that's you.
Okay. Is the corpse still holding the baseball bat? Did it fall down?
Let's see. There's a possibility you could still hold
I
it.
actually don't know how that would work.
I don't know either, but we'll give it a percentage. Yeah. Let's say I'll say there's a 30% chance he kind of his muscles tense up and he keeps holding it.
Yeah.
That's a 33, so he drops it. The bat clatters to the ground. Yeah.
Okay. So the guy who rushed me with the chain. Let's see. Because there's still someone with a gun. So although I have, but he's within range that if I jumped him now, I would have the initiative to catch him.
Right.
Okay. So, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rush the guy with the gun, while like still holding the corpse, and kind of like dump the corpse on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to think of like I have this idea of what I want to do, but at the same time I want to keep it within the round. Mm-hmm. So my intention would be to kind of use that confusion to then get a hold of that gun.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So this will effectively be another. It'll be like a disarm roll kind of, and because you're using his buddy's corpse and flinging it at him, we'll give you a bonus on that. So I'd say the bonus here will be +2. So you're just going to make a melee attack roll. It's going to be opposed, and you've got a +2 in addition to your normal stuff.
Oh, that's a 1.
Oh, 1. Okay. So,
yeah.
All right. So it goes poorly.
Yeah.
So let's see what his response is anyway. Okay. So let's see. We're trying to grab the gun. Okay. So what happens is you kind of fling, the corpse towards this guy. It slams into him. You go for the gun, and you guys, the camera kind of zooms in on the two of you, and you grab his arm, and he's like aiming at your face, and you're like pushing it away, and you get in kind of this back and forth grapple thing. So effectively, I'm gonna say that the result of your, critical fail there is that there's a possibility he might get another shot at you this round. So go ahead and make another opposed melee roll. Let's see what happens.
That's a 13 plus 2, so that's 15.
Okay, he got a 5. So as the camera zoomed in on the two of you struggling for the weapon, you finally manage to push his arm away just as the shot goes off. So he fires another round just up into the air. And so at that point, it's their turn. You guys are kind of still tussling, but the gun punk there, he after he fires, he kind of pushes back from you, and he takes several steps back as if he's kind of he seems a little bit more wary of you than he was initially, but he's backing up and shooting that way. So your AC again was 13?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, he got a 3. So he fires a couple more rounds off, but they bounce off the dumpster behind you. Let's see. Meanwhile, the guy with the chain, he is going to. I think he's actually going to try to grapple you with the chain. So what he's going to do is try to swing the chain around you, grab it on the other side, and kind of pull you in. Okay, so this would be an opposed melee roll.
Okay.
I'm rolling poorly today. I got a 5.
I got a 13. Is that the second 3 in a row that I got?
It might be.
Yeah, I'm gonna reshuffle. But I got a 13 plus 2, so that's 15. Yeah, I got 2 3s in a row. I'm gonna reshuffle a bit.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so all right, so you avoid it. So he goes to do the aforementioned move, and you duck under the chain. deftly. So he just kind of swings around and he grabs it, and then it's new initiative.
Okay, very well. 5.
5. So you're first again.
Cool. Okay, so I still have the guy with the chain, and the guy with the gun, and they're all within reach of my round, correct?
Yes, everybody's within like 15 feet.
Okay.
Well, actually, at the moment, the chain guy, I think he's got some reach on his chain, so he's probably within 10 feet. And then the gun guy maybe moved back to about 15 feet, but they're still very close. Yeah.
Okay, very well. Well, I always try to be original, but in this case, it would just make sense. I'm gonna rush the guy with the gun and try to take it again.
Okay.
Nothing fancy, just yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's an opposed roll again. This time he gets a 13.
And I got a 9.
9. Okay, so it's relatively uneventful there. You make a lunge for the gun, and he just steps backwards. And at that point, it becomes their turn. So he lowers the gun to fire again. And he actually fires. As he's firing, each time he's firing, like each attack has been kind of like a few shots. It's not like one.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I just okay. Because I have combat. I don't know how many hit dice they have each, but with combat machine, I get a bonus attack when the opponents are 1 HC or less.
Okay. So
would that be the case here, or
it would be the case here? So let's.
Okay. Well, we're not going to rewind. That's my bad for forgetting.
Yeah. We can justify this by saying, you're kind of groggy when you first got up, and so now that you're in it, you kind of kick into killer mode. Okay, so go ahead and.
I missed the gun twice. I'm pissed.
Yeah. So you can make another attack if you want.
Okay, very well. You know what? It's just gonna, in frustration, I'm just gonna kick the guy.
Okay.
Try to grab the gun. Doesn't work. I probably step back just enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be more of a kicking range. Just gonna kick him see, and that would be 12, 14.
Okay, that's a hit. So whatever the hound's unarmed damage is, go ahead and roll that.
Yeah, D4. Okay. That's a 3 plus 2. That's 5.
All right. So the hound lurches forward and places a boot squarely in the guy's chest. He flies backwards and slams against the alley wall behind him and just kind of slumps to the ground. You hear kind of this this dual crack, as the foot impacts the rib cage, and then the back, as his back hits the wall and he slumps down. You landed a really square kick on him. So I'm going to quickly roll morale here for the third guy, see if he's going to stay in this fight. It looks like he probably will. Yep. All right. So we're going to call him Gorgo back here, the big guy. He's pissed off that you just taken out his two friends. So he just stands there and kind of winds up his chain, rushes forward, and actually this time. No, that's what he'll do. He'll rush forward and try to whip you with his chain.
This feels like Streets of Rage at the moment. As soon as you call him Gorgo, I was I just imagined the bar.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure that's where the name came from in my mind. Yep. Okay, so he rolled a natural 1, so he's going to be disarmed. So what happens is he comes forward with the chain. He comes at you from the side. You parry with your arm, and he loses grip of the chain, and it flies into the dumpster behind you. All right, so that's new initiative.
I got 4.
4? That's you again.
Okay. Well, it would be kind of a rewind if that's the case, but am I able to actually catch that chain before it flies off and, in that motion, swing it back at him?
Of course, that would be cool, yeah. So, yeah, that's fine. So go ahead and make just a standard attack roll with it.
Okay, very well. That's an 8.
Okay, so the hound grabs the chain. He slashes Gorgo there across the chest, and it just kind of bounces off his layer of natural armor, if you will. And you also break some of the stuff that he was wearing on his chest. Like he's got just random like junk that he's collecting. Kind of,
Yeah.
it's like a fisherman's vest except just with random bits of crap on it. And so you smash some of his stuff, and he just looks pretty pissed. So still, you get another attack if you want.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I mean, just swing the chain again, I guess.
Okay.
So that's so nice. 17. So that's 19 in total.
All right, that's a hit. So damage for a chain like this, it's probably going to be like a D6.
Okay. Perfect. 5 again.
5. Okay, so this time you wrap the chain around his face, and it kind of it hits him, comes around, smacks him some more, and blood starts pouring down the front of his face. It looks like he's he's still up, he's still conscious, but he's badly hurt. All right, so he's going to use excuse me, he's going to use his action to basically try to bum rush you, and kind of he just lurches forward, and he's going to try to tackle you basically into the side of the dumpster behind you. So it'll effectively be a grapple. So go ahead and it'll be an opposed roll.
Eesh. So I got 4 in total.
Okay, so he actually got a 19 that time. So he's basically going to use this as kind of what happens is he kind of shoulder tackles you into the dumpster behind you, and then he essentially crushes you with his weight as he does that, and it's going to inflict 3 points of damage.
Oh, okay. And I was already at 10. Apparently, did I lose a hit point in our previous recordings, or is that from my previous serial?
Yeah, I think you lost a hit point.
Yeah, I did, huh?
Rats, was it?
Yeah, that was it. Okay, very well. Okay, so I'm at 7. Got it.
Right. Oh, and don't forget also that you have your juice. So if that becomes an issue, that one of the uses for that is to do a slow-mo dodge and avoid damage.
Yeah, no problem. But right, for 3 hit dice when I hit points when I still have like 7 left after this.
That's probably reasonable. That's reasonable. He smashes it.
What? Yeah.
So it's new initiative. So D6.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I got 5 again. You know what? I'm gonna change that die after this one.
All right,
I feel like it really likes 5s. It's not bad for me, but it's bad for fairness. Okay. But I got 5.
All right, cool. So you're up.
Okay. Well, see, the first thing you told me is when you told me he rushed kind of head first and thinking like a guillotine, except that's when you put your arm around someone's neck and then. Yep. But I have a chain, so that's even better. So I'm gonna use the chain to just. Yeah, he's rushing me. Good for him. I'm just gonna grab the chain and put it around the neck and just squeeze.
Oh, nasty. Okay. All right. So it'll just be like a melee attack.
Okay, very well. So that's 14 plus 2, 16.
All right. So you do just that. You as he kind of headbutts you or whatever into this thing, you wrap the chain around for a chain assisted guillotine, and you pull, and it takes a little bit longer than you might expect, but eventually he kind of shudders and you feel him.
Okay, but before that though, before he's completely gone, I want to say something to him.
Oh sure. Well, you basically have control over his consciousness at the moment.
So I lean forward and I say, "When you're gone, I'm going to keep all of your stuff." And then I squeeze even harder.
All right, he's just like, no! And then he passes out.
Seems like a hoarder,
Yeah, yeah. All right, great. So, so he falls to the ground, and the alleyway falls quiet.